Hello everyone. Thanks to Usha and BITS MySort team for inviting me to do this EDA walkthrough. I am Bharti Prasad, a student from IIIT DM Jabalpur. I am also Kaggle notebook expert and discussion expert. So let's start with the EDA. We'll be talking about ancient empires and their history. This is my Medium article, which you can find it on the internet. 90% of all the data in the world has been generated over the last 2 years. It becomes very obvious that there is very less data in the last 50 to 100 years. And when we go back to mid 1600s, the data is infinitesimal. Nothing prevents modern scientists and historians from producing new historical data. Now, for the analysis, we'll be using a relatively very small data set, the Action Age data set. This is a research employed data from Shershad Data Bank, a large multidisciplinary team of scientists and historians from around the world. This data set tracks a variety of socio-political norms. There are around 10 NGAs, that is natural geographic areas, and the time span is between 5300 BCE to 1800 CE with 100 years increment. Specific scores has been given to each norm for each data. So let's understand what Axis Age is. Also known as Axis Age, and it was the era when cultural, religious, and spiritual traditions emerged at about the same time around the world. With this knowledge, let's now head to Kaggle. So this notebook takes around 48 seconds to run, and you can go ahead and copy and edit this notebook. So instead of this edit button over here, you will be seeing a copy and edit button. So you can go ahead, click on it, and now you'll get this notebook inside a Kaggle user. As here is the data in the input section, and we'll be using Python as the programming language. This is the save version button. You can commit all your code and it'll get saved. So now coming back to our code, we will first import all the required libraries and then we'll read the data. Also, we'll now take a quick look at our data. First 5 rows, these are the columns and these are the specific scores given to each norm. And this is the sum column, that is the total of all these points. Now, shape gives us number of rows and columns respectively. As I also mentioned earlier, this is a relatively very small data set. So we have only 428 rows and we have 15 columns. Info gives us more information about our data. We have all the columns over here. We have all the data types of a column. Also, when we look at the non-null count, we see that we have quite a lot of missing values. 13 columns are of float data type, 1 column is of int, and 1 column is of object data type. Scribe gives us these basic statistical details. Now that we know we have a lot of missing values, it's not wise to move directly to visualizations without tackling these missing values. MissingNo is one of my favorite library, and that's because it provides a small tool set of, you can say flexible and easy to use visualization on missing data. You can get a quick visual summary of the completeness of your data and the kind of pattern your values show, the correlations they follow, if any. So this is the matrix visualization of the missing value. We can see that there's some kind of pattern that exists. Let's look at the first socio-political norm, that is moralistic punishment. And there's this pattern in this data which is quite visible in all norms except for 4. This is the bar chart of a missing value. We can see how many missing values are there. This is the correlation heat map between the missing values. This is the dendrogram of missing values. We see that all the columns which have 0 missing values are here at the 0th level. So we have to read this from top to bottom perspective. And this is the distance of missing values in the column. So these cluster leaves give us an idea about how many missing values will have to fill in. We'll have to tackle the missing values, and for that we'll proceed with data cleaning. Now this over here, I have written a code that gives us the percentage of missing values in every norm. We see that we have these many non-null values present in these columns. First, we'll do some text processing. Over here, we'll remove these numbers, dots, and blank spaces. So after converting all the columns, this is a column now. We also print all the unique NGA. This is the list of all the unique NGAs that exist. We will give zero value to fill NA so that null values are replaced with zero. So after cleaning and replacing the data, we'll check if we have any more missing values, and we have no more missing values. That means we can proceed with our data visualization. Over here, I have checked the summary statistics of data from column. A skewedness is seen in the summary statistics. We can see that all the NGAs began to be represented at varying starting time, and they tended to continue to be observed until about 1800. But not all the NGAs collapsed at the same time. A few collapsed before. I have used set context over here to set the value as notebook, and I have used font scale as one. So set context basically sets plotting context parameters. I've also used Seaborn set palette to set it as pastel. Over here, I've provided the figure size, and I have used Seaborn's basic line plot. I have given the parameter, the data frame that we're using. Column Y is date from, and X is NGA. So this gives us the relation between time and NGA. Next, I have created a function chart over time. This sets the size of the title to 20 and the X label to 15. This is the next function that I've created, set plot size. This sets the figure of our plot. Next, we have compile superplot function for automating post-formatting of subplot. Historical years represented. I've passed hist as the parameter for creating this histogram plot. I have used Seaborn set palette again, and I've changed it to plasma for this graph. Here in the parameters, I have passed true for subplots. That means we get all the plots for all the columns. Next up, I have imported autocorrelation plot from pandas plotting. Autocorrelation plot of some column. Autocorrelation plots are usually used to see the randomness in our data. Next, we have created a list. All the unique date from has been collected in this list. We sort them. Now we pass it and create a data frame for the plot. Now here we are subplotting total sum for a particular norm over the time, and we have this for all the columns. Now we have used Seaborn spacer grid, passed hue as NGA. We have our data frame as one of the parameters, and we have also mapped Seaborn's KD plot, and we have added legend. So this is the sum distribution with respect to NGA. Here we have used Seaborn's cat plot. Again, we have passed NGA as the X parameter, Y parameter is sum, and the kind is boxen. Data over here, we have used sorted values of NGAs. And this is NGA versus sum. Now I have used Seaborn's KD plot, and I have passed X parameter as normalizing norms, Q as the NGA, and data as data frame. We see that KD plot for all the NGA is almost similar except for Kansai, and that may be because of missing values. I've created a cat plot, passed X as NGA, Y parameter as normalistic punishment. Over here in kind, I have passed void and observed that moralistic punishment was not enforced in Kansai and Middle Yellow River regions. Here we have NGA mean transposed. We have transposed it. We have transposed the index and the column. Now we will be plotting a stack plot. I have added all the socio-political norms, and this is the plot. So we plotted stack plot, which gives us features over time in each NGAs. So in this, we can observe that all the norms emerged at the same time, and moralistic punishments has been on top, while constraint on executive has been second. We can also see that impeachment and full-time bureaucrats is at the bottom. Let's also see for Kachi Plain. Moralistic punishment again is on top, followed by constraints on executive, as we can see over here. Impeachment is at the bottom with full-time bureaucrats. Also, we can see promotion of pro-sociality over here. In Middle Yellow River Valley, that moralistic punishment has been on top, but over here we can see moralizing norms emerged. Again, impeachment is at the bottom. We see that rulers, not God, emerged and then it again vanished, but it again emerged towards the end. Let's observe for Upper Egypt also. We can see that all the norms emerged pretty early for Egypt. Again, moralistic punishment has been on top, while moralizing norms has a part over here. Next question that arises, which of these norms are most likely to be observed at the same time and in the same plane? To answer this question, we'll make a correlation plot. So we can simply make a core variable with the correlation. We can pass it to Seaborn's heat map with X-tick labels and Y-tick labels, and we can just plot that. We can clearly see the correlation in result. Formal legal code, promotion, and general applicability of law most likely to be observed together quantitatively. Impeachment was least likely trait to co-occur, all of which had a mild negative association. So we can notice that the diagonal is fully correlated. That is because every column will correlate perfectly with its own column. This was a very quick EDA on axial age. Axial age was a pivotal time in early human history when human beings began to reflect upon their own selves, their existence, and societies emerged. It also marked discovery of transcendence. Connect with me on LinkedIn here. You can also check out my Medium article on the internet, and don't forget to hit the upvote button. That was all for today. Thank you.